I'm giving it to you. I'm going to quote some poetry. I want somebody, no teachers please, I want somebody to tell me whose words these are. Here we go. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 pages. It is indeed. It is Jacques from As You Like It. He's this melancholy philosopher. And I bet even if you did not recognize those lines, I bet you recognize that idea that we are all actors, that life is a performance. And Jacques says that one of the parts we play is the whining student creeping like snail unwillingly to school. I will say no more. Jacques is a cynic, a pessimist. He implies that the parts we play are imposed upon us, that they limit us. But what Jacques forgets is that sometimes the roles that are assigned to us actually help us express ourselves, that playing a part helps us to find out who we are. So in chapel today, I have all these names. I just Push and Lacey and Michael and Will and Nora and Maggie. Everybody came up here to play parts that have been played by hundreds of students before them. And each student has to figure out, how can I find a way to make this part mine? How can I play my part? And the ring ceremony, paradoxically, is at once both intimately familiar to us and strange and new. We all know how it works. We've seen it before, but we remake it every year. We recast the play every year. And the ceremony, I think, is most interesting, and life is most interesting, not when we just dutifully go through the motions, but when we feel either empowered or compelled to improvise. And you saw that time and time again with the sometimes awkward, sometimes touching, sometimes comic rituals right here, sometimes all three at once. Last night before I went home, I wrote a postcard to every 11th grader. And on every postcard is a compliment. And one of them says something like, Duncan, I applaud your exuberance and your lack of pomposity. Another one says, Felicity, you play music as eloquently as you write. And these cards were easy to write. I mean, even to those of you I'm still getting to know, it was very easy for me to sit down and write 28 compliments. And the reason I think that is that although you are all playing familiar parts, the scholar, the athlete, the musician, the comedian, I'm impressed by, I'm a little in awe of your commitment to those parts, your determination and joy in making them your own. I could tell you about Madison, for example. She is an avid reader of The Hunger Games and these other massive fantasy novels, and they have inspired her to write 2 novels of her own. She has thousands and thousands of words into 2 manuscripts of her own. I could single out Eric or Patrick or Jacob or Shawnee for showing me and their classmates exciting and original ways to look at literature, to show me new things about literature that I know very well. I could praise Yasmin, Anna, and Xavier, and Shawnee, and Hassan, and Rachel, and I better stop. But over and over again, when I wrote those postcards, I was using words like warmth and kindness. And it was a wonderful thing to write those words over and over again. And I want to close with one more example, a more sustained example of what I think makes you guys special. O'Shane is telling me about this independent study that he's doing with Miss Miller. He set up these special cameras called camera traps to document the wildlife on the campus. So O'Shane went into the woods to set up these equipment, and he came across dozens and dozens of bottles. Some of them broken, but surprisingly many of them intact for what must have been decades. Bottles of blue and green and brown and clear glass, and how the heck did they get there, and what do they mean? So rather than discarding them or recycling them, O'Shane is studying them. Where did they come from? What do they reveal about our